From early childhood, many had felt they were expected to be perfect, but didn't feel they had the right to express their true feelings to those around them. Feelings of guilt, of self-revulsion, and low personal esteem, creating in them a compulsion to dissolve like a disprin and disappear.
Diana was more than a princess. She was a demi-goddess. Beautiful and compassionate, she became the most loved and admired woman on earth. Her short life was the stuff of legend and myth, but it was never a fairy tale. The romance the world saw on her wedding day was flawed. No one lived happily ever after. Princess Diana's story is about suffering and achievements. About love and loss. About tradition and change. Above all, it is about a woman without equal.
At the end of this year, when I've completed my diary of official engagements, I will be reducing the extent of the public life I've led so far. Obviously, I attach great importance to my charity work, and I intend to focus on a smaller range of areas in the future.
Diana's marriage to Prince Charles changed her life forever. At 20, she became the most famous and photographed person of all time. On July 29, 1981, almost 1 billion people watched a shy and inexperienced girl, just out of her teens, married the heir to the British throne.
Charles Philip Arthur George, wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other keep thee only unto her, so long as ye both shall live?
I will.
Diana Francis, wilt thou have this man to thy wedded husband, to live together according to God's law in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto him, so long as ye both shall live?
I will.
Motherhood soon followed. Prince William was born in June 1982, a few days before Princess Diana's 21st birthday. Diana's second child, who is always known as Harry, arrived in September 1984. Diana was happiest in the company of her own children. She was unlike any previous royal mother. With her tactile approach, she turned her back on the traditions of aristocratic childcare, which she found cold and distant. Unfortunately, however, the cracks in the Prince and Princess of Wales' marriage are beginning to be evident.
And I suppose in love. Of course. Whatever in love means.
Through interviews and articles, they tried to convince the world that all is well with their marriage. Camilla Parker Bowles was a longtime friend and old flame of the prince, and Charles, in a notorious BBC interview, admitted to an adulterous relationship with her.
It is announced from Buckingham Palace that, with regret, the Prince and Princess of Wales have decided to separate. Their Royal Highnesses have no plans to divorce, and their constitutional positions are unaffected.
But the public knew that the separation would be permanent. The divorce became fact on the 15th day of July 1996. Diana started to forge a new life for herself, meeting some of the world's the good and the great on an equal footing. On this occasion, the Emperor and Empress of Japan are delighted to meet the beautiful princess. Concerned about the ill health of her friend, the sickly Mother Teresa of Calcutta, the princess took time out in New York to visit this key spiritual figure in her life. How tragic it was that two such important women should die in the same week. News of the princess's death was conveyed to Mother Teresa as she lay gravely ill in Calcutta. Hearts are touched as Diana and General Colin Powell make this little girl's year. An SOS distress call from her close friends, Jemima Goldsmith and her new husband presidential candidate Imran Khan, told her that the Pakistani cancer hospital was in danger of closing for lack of funds. Ignoring warnings about her safety, Diana dropped everything to help the cause and successfully rescue the impeded hospice. And losing her Royal Highness's status, Diana also lost the services of the royal bodyguards who protect the lives of the royal families. In her first public engagement following her divorce, Princess Diana met the First Lady of the United States Hillary Clinton at a breakfast fundraiser to raise money for breast cancer.
I want to welcome all of you, and particularly our guest of honor, Diana, Princess of Wales. I was thinking as I met her in the Blue Room that this is one of the nicest British invasions that the White House has ever had. The other one, as some of you may remember from history, burned the place down, but now we have the metaphorical equivalent of that excitement here in the White House.
In a symbolic move to sever her links from her own dark ages, she gave away many of her old dresses from the world's greatest designers so they could be sold for charity. As the princess was always in the public eye, the slightest change of appearance made newspaper and magazine headlines.
Right, well, what we have here is we have 10 years of Diana's fashions, right from the early days where she thought she had to be very staid and traditional, the heavy sequins, drop waists, right up to the independent Diana with the serpentine dress, cleavage, shoulders, which she loves. Like, this is what suits me and this is what I'm going to wear.
So that makes a grand total of just over $5,700,000, which I think is something of a record for a charity event.
Those of us who had long-term plans with the Red Cross in which she was so deeply involved will not have her by our side. Those of us who've worked with her for years, seen her ability to bring to the attention of the public something like the landmine campaign. Indeed, she embraced the AIDS campaign when it wasn't fashionable. And of course, other campaigns, English ballet, she had so many.
She worked unceasingly for lepers, AIDS victims, sick children, and cancer sufferers. This work raised a staggering amount for the good causes close to the princess's heart. This clip sounded a wake-up call to the world. Her Royal Highness dared to touch a leper, dared to feel deeply to an outcast. She challenges ignorance at any level. Wherever Diana, Princess of Wales went, so did love. Wherever she went, so did hope. Diana, Queen of Hearts, worked tirelessly for the cause of children everywhere. But it was far beyond the call of duty. It was a special gift.